Okay, amazing, amazing. Guys, welcome to NFTCON with the panel entitled The Use of NFTs for Concerts and Events. We have an amazing lineup of panelists today. I'm Jeff Kelley. I'm going to be the moderator. I'm from the Edge of NFT podcast, one of the co-hosts over there. And I'm really excited to jump into this panel today. I want to do a quick around the horn, 30-second intro of who you are and where you're from, what you're up to. And then we'll dive into some questions. So let's do that. Let's start with Mike Hill.
Hi there. My name's Mike. As you just said, I'm based out of Hong Kong. I'm the CEO of a company called Magnetic Asia. We're an events business. We run festivals, a number of festivals in Hong Kong. We also do concerts, and we're also a technology company as well. So we build software for the events industry, ticketing largely, but a whole bunch of other things, including some new stuff that's coming, which we'll talk about later.
Very nice. Andrew, how about you?
Hi, good morning. Andrew Schiffman, originally from London, living in New York. Been in the music space for over 20 years. Obviously worked festivals like the Warped Tour, the Mayhem Fest and Coachella. Primarily been in programming and curation, a long time at MTV. Also working every award show out of that space. And most recently, music partnerships at Rally, which is a crypto NFT platform launching, creator coin social tokens for creators. So looking forward to the conversation.
All right. And Josh, how about you?
Hey there. How are you, Jeff? Josh Katz, founder of YellowHeart. So at YellowHeart, we're building NFT ticketing, NFT community tokens, and we have an NFT music marketplace. Our main focus right now is the launch of our NFT ticketing, which we just started in September. And, we already have 2 on sales going, one for Dreamverse, which is MetaPurse's event at NFT NYC, which is going to be off the charts as an event. And the other one for Scope Art Fair at Miami, which is the second largest art fair at Miami Art Week behind Art Basel. But really working on the adoption of NFTs as tickets right now, really my main focus.
Exciting stuff, guys, all around. All right, well, let's dive into it. All right, the concert and event going experience really hasn't changed much in the last decade or two, really before lockdowns hit. What's broken about concerts and events, and how can NFTs help solve problems and create a better experience for everybody involved? Mike, let's start with you.
Okay, so we can start with the really sort of, I think often people talk about the challenges that we face. We end up getting into ticketing, right? So, and we normally, when we talk about ticketing, we start talking about issues related to ticket touts and those kind of problems. And we're normally talking with respect to the sellout events, which, unfortunately, that's not the majority of event organizers, right? Most people who are organizing events are struggling to sell tickets. That's just the nature of being an event organizer. It's tough, right? So you want to be finding, so what if you ask most event organizers what they want to sell more tickets, right? But also what does the punter, or what does the person who wants to go to events, what do they want? They want to know that stuff's going on, right? So we got to find better ways of connecting those two entities together. People creating great events and people who want to go to events. And so the blockchain NFT creates opportunity for us to really engage with fans and create platforms that allow the fans to become members of a community. And to really engage with those events, with those fans in a completely different way, which can then build out communities and build out loyalty and etc. So I think these are things that we can, there's the obvious things that are going to happen with NFTs and ticketing. We can talk about, and I'm sure we will, right? But I think there's opportunities there that where we should really focus on the guys who haven't got it easy, the guys who are creating brilliant events, but they want to sell more tickets, right? Because that's what
Absolutely.
we all want to do.
Well, Josh, I know you're knee deep in the middle of a huge one right now. What are your thoughts on this, man? What do you think is broken about this space, and how can NFTs change it?
So, there's so many things that NFTs could change. what's broken is debatable based on who you ask. Certain people think that the current system is perfect. So, and the way it works is the way it's meant to work, and it's the way that things default, because of human nature. But at the end of the day, the thing that, at YellowHeart we really focus on, and I know that, Rowley's focusing on, and, I'm sure Mike's company is the fan, and, the person who actually really matters at the end of the day. I mean, you have the artist, you have the fan, and then you have the entire infrastructure to make these events work. And that's where things start to get a little bit, wobbly. But at the end of the day, the pureness that the artist brings, the pureness that the fan brings is never changed. It's unwavering and it's the same. And you just have your different levels of artistry. You have people that are just starting off that need help with the following. You have people that have grown and built followings. You also have people that have built followings, but they're not as big, like Mike was suggesting, around needing to fill seats. So you have a lot of issues going on within an industry, and NFTs at the core, really looking at a programmable contract, starting with the fact that you could set rules on how the money works, because that's super important. And then the ability to create additional content, additional added incentives, other utilities, to create a much more enhanced experience, where the ticket used to just be like here's an opportunity to stand in line, come in with a barcode, and then that's it. Find your seat, you're done, the ticket dies. Now it could become so much more ahead of the event, where you're getting offers, whether it's from cool brands or the artist or various other people that, or things that, you might discover. You're in the event, and we've all been in an event where you could see empty seats in front of you and wonder, why could I sneak up there? But maybe now you could just upgrade. Access to better, perks in the venue, and the ability to kind of find them, discover them, and actually use them. Where, you have, potentially NFTs giving you bonus admission into clubs and into lounges and into other things as they build cooler, better venues with better, food options and better food and beverage. And I'm talking about on the large scale. On the small scale, the ability to really just sell direct tickets to your fans and have a clear view of who's attending your shows, and potentially monetizing them on what we call long tail, which is, post-show. Where if you go see a show, the next morning you wake up, you're like, that was amazing, but that's it. Doesn't have to be it. A lot of the things that we're working on is continuing that fan journey to the next show, or to the friend show, or, through another experience. So I think there's just so much opportunity here. It's the tip of the iceberg. For me, it's about just more people entering the space. So just more brains are kind of working on cool stuff.
Yeah, no, for sure. Andrew, I mean, gosh, everything that Rowley's doing connects the creators with their fans. I think it's such an innovation in what is happening right now. I mean, what say you? What do you think is broken about the space today, and how can NFTs change that?
Yeah, I mean, everything Mike and Josh have been saying, I feel like we all speak the same language, right?
Yeah.
But really, it's knowing who's buying the ticket and having that one-on-one relationship. There's so many comp tickets, radio promo tickets, label bulk buys and giveaways. And really, those are almost the super fans that want to invest in a contest, but who knows if the artist can ever really know who is buying that ticket, versus if you're buying it from Ticketmaster or something. So allowing you to have access to emails who is buying a ticket, especially scalpers. The recent Ed Sheeran announcement that he's going to be selling tickets for a France show using blockchain technology, I think is genius. And what was also interesting, there was not one mention of NFTs on that story, which was crazy, right? But Rowley's definitely using creator coins to, give pre-sale access to concerts, allowing the super fans to be able to purchase first, and then utilize NFTs and experiences to really enhance that experience, exactly as Josh and Mike were saying.
Yeah, it's amazing stuff, guys. Well, let's talk COVID for a second, because in the last year and a half or so has been pretty wild, and the impact on the space seems to have been really insane. And so it really seems like it's been an accelerant in a lot of ways for adoption, development. There's the NFTs themselves, virtual events, AR, VR, but it also had presented some challenges, I think, right? So you have masks and social distancing, vaccine and test requirements, all kinds of contingency planning. Guys, how did COVID change things for your business? Let's start with you, Josh.
Well, for me, it's pretty dramatic because we had finished our MVP ticketing product at the end of 19, and we entered beta in Q1 of 2020. And we're a New York City-based company, and COVID hit hard the first week of March. We closed our office March 9th and literally never went back to work. And by actually the end of June, we had furloughed our entire company. So I was the only one left standing in summer of 2020 at YellowHeart. Luckily, our chief product officer, our CTO, other people are partners in the company, and they're, kind of stuck through it, and we rode through it, and we literally built our music marketplace and started launching NFTs in 21. So it drastically changed our business. We literally went to zero, and we were, I think our trajectory pre-COVID would have been a lot different because there was only a very, very small group of people that understood the significance of what we were building before COVID. And 18 months later, it's a much larger, level of understanding around how powerful NFT ticketing is and how it is the future. And, the adoption, I think, will be much quicker. So drastically changed our business.
Yeah, wow, it sounds like it. Andrew, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, I think COVID accelerated everything with NFTs and blockchain to the general population. Obviously, there was a very small percentage that were kind of aware of blockchain technology and crypto investors, but I think Clubhouse and people at home really educated people in the space of NFTs and blockchain, and really setting up the ticketing, because those conversations were talked about so early on about, oh, wouldn't it be amazing if we could have an NFT as a concert ticket, and the different things and applications that you can put on that NFT for experiences and access and whatever it is. So fast forward to today, where everything's kind of been worked out and talked about and new technologies have been developed, we're really starting to see that go in effect now, versus it could have taken an extra 6 months or year. Big up to Josh, the Kings of Leon. I know you kind of got into that early with really one of the first mainstream, launches that's still talked about in every NFT kind of conversation now. So I think COVID kind of helped accelerate with the use of platforms like Clubhouse and everything else.
Definitely some needle moving elements to it. Mike, how about you?
Well, we've had a journey. Ours started before you guys, because we had the political unrest. So 2019, we cancelled our festival, which we call Clockenflap, which we've been running for. At that point, that would have been our 13th year, and so we had to cancel that. And then obviously COVID kicked off. So we spent a lot of time soul searching, figuring out what we're doing. And in the process of doing that, we've launched a whole raft of new initiatives and businesses. So we're busy in the process building our Clockenflap XR, which is our video game experience. So you can go to our festival in the digital world, create an avatar and go to multiple stages. You've all seen it before. That's obviously going to be very much heavily linked to what we're launching this year as well, which is our NFT platform, and an NFT studio. Really focused heavily on content. So we've done this in partnership with another company here called Sun Entertainment. They make films, they do lots and lots of concerts, much like us, and in the region. So that would never have happened without COVID. We would have never have come together, right? We were sort of doing our own thing. We did international stuff, they did local stuff, and COVID has pulled us together, and we've gone soul searching, looking for opportunities, and NFT and XR as what's been born out of that. So we're gonna, at the end of this year, we launched this marketplace and an NFT studio, which is really focused on searching out great content, great artists in the region, and pulling them together and creating collaborations. And then obviously then we launch into doing all sorts of other things with NFTs, which related to building our membership platform and building multiple XR experiences. And so none of this would have happened without COVID. We'd have been busy building ticketing systems for venues and running concerts and events, right? And now we're blockchain geeks, So
it is amazing, guys, just across the board, the everything you just talked about, right? That all happened over the last really 18 months, and the growth that we've seen in that time is amazing. For all the bad that COVID created, it created this opportunity as well, and it's so interesting to see where we are now and also where we can go on the back of that innovation. You guys both mentioned this. It's really an important element of all the conversations we have in the space, and that's community, right? Strong communities and engagement are really central to the most impactful NFT projects. Are you all tapping into tech like NFT wallets, connecting to DAOs, nurturing community through active Discord channels or other channels for that matter? What kind of ways are you guys involving your community in your plans? Let's start with you, Andrew.
Well, as you may or may not know, Rally is really a community-run network. So they really, if there's new technology or kind of bots that might want to be created to link your, Rally account to Discord or to a Twitch stream, the community can actually build that, and Rally will pay for that. So we really want to encourage the community to definitely build and be part of the growth of Rally among a lot of other decisions. We're really a community focused platform with our creators, so we're looking to build integrations in wherever the fans are. We don't want to educate and bring the fans to another platform, right? So if fans are hanging out in Discord, we'll gate experiences for coin holders. So something that we did with Portugal Demand was we had a VIP Discord room where we gated special access if you held 20 coins or more. And there's ongoing experiences. You can have a guitar lesson or a private chat, so there's stuff like that. So as we mentioned before, we want to go beyond that first initial drop and announcement. We really want to set a plan and a strategy for the community.
Makes a ton of sense. Yeah, community is so important. Mike, how are you guys viewing that? How are you involving community in your plans?
So obviously, as a ticketing company and as a festival business, both Sun and ourselves, we have very, very large audiences. Hundreds of thousands of active people that are our fans already, and we understand most of them are very much in the dark when it comes to the blockchain and NFTs, etc. So for us, it's critical for us to build platforms and build accessibility that bridges that gap between their normal experience of whether it be ticketing or membership or getting digital souvenirs. We need to make sure that this is intuitive and easy for them, and then using that then to introduce them to this new world. And so obviously using those existing communities that we have, but respecting the fact that they are not aware of things like MetaMask and an NFT. What's an NFT? Why do they need? We didn't need to know what TCP/IP was when we were building the internet, right? It was what is an NFT? Who cares, right? It's a souvenir. It's a piece of digital content. It's something that I can own and take away. So that's what we're really, really focused on at the moment, is how we can, and that's something that we as a company have done all the way through building our festivals, is being audience focused, respecting our audience and understanding what they want and how they want to interact with what we're doing. And then from that, we can then slowly build out this new type of community. And obviously doing things within our XR world is going to be interesting, because there's going to be a lot of these kids that get that world, right? And obviously our big challenge is to get the guys, maybe like sort of my age, who maybe aren't gamers, and get them into that world, and then get them buying NFTs in an XR type environment and trading XRs trading, sorry, NFTs. That's when we've been successful in our community, right?
Yeah, building community and reaching beyond the borders of just the people that know about crypto or about the technical elements of NFTs, right? So important, those integrations you were talking about, Andrew, right? Yeah, so much to that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I rather rudely call them crypto nerds, right? So
right,
we've got to get beyond the crypto nerds, which I am one of them. But yeah, we've got to get beyond it.
As are we all, I think, at this point.
Yes,
So Josh, we're talking about the importance of strong communities, and we were just asking the panel about the ways in which you're involving communities in your plans. So how are you doing that at YellowHeart?
Well, it's a great question, because we think about community as everything. It's literally the number one, point on almost every discussion we have, because, particularly around music, live events, we think it's all community driven. It's about, letting people meet each other, being able to put people that have the same likes in the same place and having that relationship bud beyond. So we're constantly thinking about it. And to us, one of the biggest tools we've had, of course, is Discord, which just seems to be changing the game. And, as a ticketing company, there's something that kind of goes unknown to the general public, is that close to 20% of tickets sold require customer service of some extent. And you might not realize that, but it's a huge number. It's a huge number. So we have been putting a tremendous amount of thought around all of this and what this looks like and how it feels and what the ad experience is. And we think it's all about community. And we watched in our Discord as, fans, people who have come in and bought our NFTs and had, a question around their MetaMask or their YellowHeart wallet or whatever it is, having other fans answering their questions and helping them and reposting links and reposting videos. And, the community is bigger than ever. Social media 1.0 with, your Facebook, Twitter, all of these things has been incredible. Clubhouse through, COVID, and now, building, these Web3 properties that really embrace community and allow interaction on a different level is pretty amazing, where the world is just getting smaller and, you're meeting people and having friends everywhere. And it's just been a progression. If you think pre-COVID around, influencers and people traveling and making money, taking pictures of themselves on beaches and in front of beautiful, food and things like that. And it's just accelerating. Now it's all about community building. It's just really 1, 2, and 3 is community to us. So we think about it nonstop. I want to mention one thing to Andrew, which you'll appreciate, is that, I was involved in launching Portugal the Man on Rally. And at the time, I went in Discord right when we launched it, and I said to everyone in Discord, what do you guys want? And they just told us. And everything we've done on that project has literally just been what do you guys want to the fans? And we've given them what they want. It's really been a pretty simple equation,
Yeah.
Talk to your fans and listen. That's it.
It's important to know the fans and know where they are. And, a lot of these new crypto platforms, they're making it really easy for fans to get involved if they don't really know much about crypto. With an easy credit card swipe, you can kind of create a wallet and have some coin or an NFT. I've bought NFTs on platforms in seconds using a credit card swipe. Yes, that's a very intro way, versus, transacting from a MetaMask wallet to another wallet using ETH and all that stuff. But they're making it really easy for communities and educating them as well, because this is the future of, 1, digital ownership, and 2, financial transactions. I really believe my kids are going to grow up not really using physical cash. They're using cards now, and they're 11 and 14. So I think crypto and digital currency is definitely very, very close in the future of just transacting around.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I always say when people talk about some of just the pure kind of fun, whether it's the profile picture NFTs or other just pure fun NFTs with no other real utility. Like, what's the purpose of those? What's the what's the idea behind those? And for me, I've been seeing this thread where there's a meta function to that, and that's to bring people into the space, right, through fun and just enjoyment and whimsy. It's really what that's about to me. It's getting people familiar with the space and getting involved with it, and it's all community driven. So
I mean, some of that's a status too, right? If you have one of those bored apes and that's your profile pic, you're like, look at me, I have one of those rare commodities or a crypto punk, so
yeah,
there is kind of
you know what? Bored Ape just announced a series of events in New York over Halloween weekend. And I'm really curious to see how they transform this community in a physical nature now that they've created membership cards that are tradable. Yep. So this is going to be, it's an amazing use case. We're actually working on a similar project around music that, tell you the truth, we've taken a lot of cues from them. They're clearly the pioneers here. So I'm dying to see how this New York event goes off.
Oh, wow.
And that's what we're really excited about doing because we have the festivals and the concerts already, is that ability to create that connection between doing collectibles, but fundamentally creating what we calling club cards, right? So you get a club card, and that club card is something that allows you. You can buy as many of them as you want, but I mean, imagine if you buy 6 club cards, and that club card has some kind of benefit when you come to the festival, and you can upgrade it, and there's airdrops, and you can power it up, and then it has value because it persists, as you say, after the event, right? And you can be a member of Clockenflap for forever, and then you could get the one that's got the VIP tickets for life baked in, and then you can sell that on the secondary market because we're never doing that again, So that's that, creating that interface between the blockchain and the real world and the virtual world is really what we're excited about, and think that's so it's really cool to hear that the Bored Ape guys are also actually going to do something in the physical world as well.
Guys, the synergies between your companies are like through the roof. It's crazy. Let's shift gears just a little bit, fellas. So we know that governments and jurisdictions are paying more and more attention to crypto and NFTs. Has government and regulations around crypto, live events, communications, similar categories impacted your businesses? Mike, let's start with you.
Specifically related to the cryptocurrencies?
Well, I think as it relates to Magnetic Asia and, government oversight, regulation, government involvement.
I mean, we're living in the most crazy times here in Hong Kong. It's really hard to know where to start. I mean, because things have, we've got a new law, a national security law has come in recently due to things that have changed with regards to the situation here. We're in the middle of COVID. The borders are closed. If I leave, I've got to go into quarantine for 3 weeks. So it's quite hard to know where to start with all of that, really. Yeah. So the sort of government, I mean, all of this will wash out, and we'll go back to normal. And I guess things will, we'll see where we are. But we're in a different world right now. So it's hard to really know where to start with that.
Sounds a little overwhelming. Yeah.
A little bit, yeah, definitely, yes. Regulations related to things to do with the space that we're talking about today. It's pretty okay. It's pretty relaxed, Singapore's the sort of holy grail for this stuff. That's a great place to be doing this kind of business. Here is okay. Not sort of a bit of uncertainty, but we'll see how it goes, right? But Singapore's the place, really.
Right. Josh, how about on your end, man? Josh, you with us, buddy?
Yeah, I am. What was that? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I was asking on your end, has government involvement, regulations around crypto or, communications like FCC stuff, other categories impacted you?
Not directly at all, actually. I mean, we are using blockchain technology to enhance an industry. We're not doing anything around, financial or, anything in that world. So no, and we are not doing any business in Asia. So
there you go. Andrew, how about on your end?
Yeah, I'd say same. I mean, obviously, government and certain companies are looking at crypto for the amount of money that it's brought in over the last year with NFTs. But I think platforms just have to be secure and really know where they can go and make sure everything's buttoned up. But it's interesting seeing some of the mainstream global platforms like TikTok now selling NFTs. So, does that put more legality, or does that change the game for this space being a decentralized space? So I think a lot of those places and a lot of the major labels that are still trying to figure out how they can get involved with this space, and in terms of who owns the brand of the artist, and song rights, and that's the whole another conversation. But I think there's that kind of goes into that industry government of how they're still trying to navigate and work in this space.
Yeah, I think for investors, there's like some reticence in some cases, because of everything they hear in the news, right? Or for larger brands, some reticence to enter the space. There's some uncertainty around that. Maybe they even remember, some of the fallout from what happened in 2017 and 2018 from a regulatory perspective. And I think what we found with all the people we talked to, like on Edge of NFT and talking to you, is that it really is not something that has heavily impacted a lot of the businesses that are out there creating real value, building community, and operating as real businesses with forethought and good intentions. So I think that's a good message. Don't let the idea of some kind of government oversight or regulation or uncertainty stop you from innovating and creating value.
Mm-hmm.
So guys,
and sorry, just onto that. I mean, I think obviously the DeFi side of things is where we've got to be careful that we don't get drawn into the regulation that's going to come out of that, right? And hopefully we can manage to separate ourselves somewhat from that space. But I think that's going to be challenging going forwards, because the regulators are going to find it hard technically to understand the difference between different types of smart contracts and securities and such like. And I think really that's where it's going to get challenging, and we're going to have to really stand up for ourselves, right, through that process, and be able to be really clear, crystal clear about the difference between a derivatives futures contract versus something that we're creating that's representing artists and such like. That's going to be really challenging, I think.
It's a great point. So guys, when we think about platforms and how they develop over time, right? You look at YellowHeart and Rally, which are really built from the ground up as crypto native platforms. You look at Magnetic Asia, that's been a significant player in events for many, many years, long before NFTs really started to make waves. What do you guys see as the pros and cons of building an NFT native platform from the start versus incorporating NFTs into an already established company? Let's start with you, Josh.
Well, I think that it's really the same across any technology. And we've seen this with web, we've seen it with mobile, we're seeing it with Web3, where when you try to put a circle into a square, it doesn't always fit. And at the end of the day, you're better off just, building from the ground up always. In the case of YellowHeart, we started building or coding really in 18, and the biggest thing for us was to be not distracted. And when you're at these larger corporations and you have an existing working product, and then you try to change it, it doesn't always get the attention it deserves. It's often difficult to build something retrofit that fits into something that's in motion working, so I've always just thought, for me, building projects from scratch really give you exactly what you want. They're more efficient, and the outcome in most cases seems to be, better.
Andrew, how about with Rally?
Yeah, I mean, Josh brings up some great points. Rally's been building this platform for about 4 years, right? So the NFT space was something obviously always that was going to come to fruition, but that just launched about a month ago. So, they've really been successful in creating digital, currency for creators and integrating themselves into other platforms. It's hard to launch an NFT on OpenSea and think it's going to sell out and you're going to grow a community and fan base. You still have to do the work and bring in the fans. And, if your community's on Instagram or Discord, that's where you have to be and promote, right? So, Rally isn't necessarily a platform. It really wants to create these tools for you to go and integrate into other platforms where your fans are. What I love about the NFT side of Rally is it's, as everything's built under the RLY token, which is also on a Coinbase, there's gasless and free minting. So it's very environmentally friendly, and it allows coin holders to create that NFT marketplace. And again, just go where your fans are and educate them on what you're offering and experiences and everything like that. So
yeah, so these guys are building Rally and YellowHeart from that NFT native, that crypto native perspective. Mike, what's it like from the other side of the coin?
Well, we already have a big audience, as we said already, right? So we're already a very established ticketing company. We sell our software to big casinos, big venues, they sell millions of tickets a year, right? So our challenge is to find interesting and new ways to bring that NFT world to those people. So obviously, we're looking at things like how do we change the way that people consume souvenirs. So we're creating, NFT souvenirs from those events, but also we're building from the ground up. That's what we've done many times. So hence why we're building a new platform, which is our NFT platform. But also our game was built from the ground up. But at our heart, we're systems integrators. That my technology background, we're systems integrators. We're connecting stuff up. That's what we do, right? We look, there's a whole bunch of APIs. We create APIs and we just connect shit up, right? So for us, that's just our bread and butter. There's a CRM, there's a ticketing company, there's a travel agent, there's a etc. We're just consuming APIs and building stuff to join it up. So then the NFTs and the souvenirs and the platform and XR, it's just another place for us to be able to connect stuff up, right? So yeah, to us it's just business as usual, really.
Right. Yeah. I think maybe it comes down to perspective, right? Are you an entrepreneurial organization, an integrative group, open-minded, that iterates over time, right? Whether you're starting from scratch or whether you're taking that established community, which is so valuable, right? And growing from there, versus a behemoth brand that is slow moving and isn't innovative, right? You can see a lot of those out there. Well, guys, we only have a couple minutes left, and I wanted to do an around the horn real quick and just see, what's the next big project on the horizon for you, and where can people go to learn more about what you're working on? Let's start with you, Andrew.
Yeah, so obviously, till some launches are concrete, I can't really throw out any names, but Rally is constantly looking on launching coins in every area, whether it's music or influencers, gamers, etc. So just look for continuous announcements on projects like that. I'm working on a few big music ones, so hopefully those can be announced soon. And also integrations, as I was saying, into other platforms, whether it's something like Telegram or Airtime or wherever the fans are starting to hang out, we want to offer integrations for Rally transactions in those areas as well. So look for a lot of those. Rally is rally.io is the website, and the information's there. So
perfect. I appreciate that. Mike, how about you?
So hopefully by the end of the year, we'll be launching our the NFT platform called Sunny Side Up, and you'll be able to go there and check out the collections that we've been curating and pulling together. The curation is the big thing for us. The content curation, so working with artists and that we know well, that can deliver the quality of NFT that we believe that audiences should be offered, right, rather than necessarily the sea of everything. And so yeah, Sunny Side Up is a big thing we're going to launch, and then and also fingers crossed, end of November we'll launch Clockenflap XR. So, and that will then become a regular occurrence. You'll be able to come to our events increasingly regularly. And yes, we've got some very interesting collaborations from your part of the world, actually, that will be on offer in Clockenflap XR when we launch it in November. So,
and where should people go to follow you?
So clockenflap.com is our festival, clockenflapxr.com, and then sunnysideup.io, which is got a blank page at the moment, but it won't very soon. So
perfect. Okay, great. Josh, how about you?
So a lot going on at YellowHeart. First and foremost is our ticketing platform is, operational and has been launched. So right now there are tickets on sale for Dreamverse, which is MetaPurse's event during NFTMIC, which I encourage everyone to check out. Very cool NFT tickets. We also have tickets on sale for Scope Art Fair at Miami Art Week during Art Basel, and those are 10 unique artists, all contemporary artists who have, given us art and all share in, the purchase of those tickets, which is very cool. And we have a lot of partnerships that will be getting announced. A lot of very big artists who are coming with NFTs that we're, in cycle with now. One that's upcoming, I'm super excited about, is we did a collab with Romero Brito and DJ White Shadow, which is going to be pretty awesome, where these guys did 10 works that Romero, who's just a legend, Miami-based artist, did these like incredible animated works, his first ever animated works, and DJ White Shadow did an entire soundtrack. Shadow, who is, producer of Lady Gaga, recently did Pitbull's record, A Star Is Born, he did that. Genius producer, just put this entire soundtrack album together around that. And it just is kind of melding art and music. And I think it's a very, very cool use case of two major people from different walks of life kind of coming together and doing this project. It's something that, I've been working on for a while. The team's been working on, the artists have been working on. So really excited about that. And we're going to announce that momentarily. And that, you can check that out at YellowHeart.io or YH.io.
Amazing. Wow. All of you guys have so many cool things happening. I'm going to keep close watch on all of those websites and everything you're up to. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. And of course, to NFTCON for bringing this amazing group together. On behalf of the Edge of NFT podcast, I hope you've enjoyed today's panel. Thanks for sharing this time with us today.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you very much.